Hello and welcome to a brand new year of Culture Central Sports. I'm your host, Monroe, joined by sports specialist Derrick Stilley and Kiera Baker. Through the first 3 weeks of the NFL season, we've seen upsets, nail-biters, and elite performances. We're here to discuss all of that. We're focusing on the NFC conference. Of course, I got to start with my Eagles. Eagles beat the Saints 15-12 against Kiera Saints. I got to turn to my fellow Eagles fan here, Derrick Stilley. Are you satisfied with the Eagles' performances through the first 3 weeks of the NFL season?
Ooh, I like that question. Am I satisfied? I'm going to say no, but I think there are some bright spots. I think Quinyon Mitchell is a very good player. He leads the league in NFL pass breakups right now. Clock it. Very good. Jalen Carter is a great defensive tackle. I think that was one of the best defensive tackle tapes I've seen in a really long time. It reminded me, it reminded me of Aaron Donald. He's not Aaron Donald.
Oh, brother.
He could get there one day, but he's not Aaron Donald. He's got to put it all together. My main concern is Jalen Hurts. Honestly, I think Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. You all know that. But he has to show it again. He has showed again. He has 6 turnovers in 3 games and only 4 touchdowns, total touchdowns. 1 rushing, 3 through the air. He is top 5 in passing yards currently, but I just think he's got to work out the kinks. It looks good, and then he'll do something like a bonehead play that makes you think it back, and then it's like, now we got to start from 0. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
Kiera, talk about your quarterback, Derek Carr. He's been looking great, but not good enough to beat the Eagles. But let me know what you saw during the game. 15-12. What happened? Just give it to me straight.
Yeah, so it was a great game overall. I feel like both defenses came up big in the game. You're talking about 2 top defenses in the league. Saints has been exceptional on defense. And Derek Carr, he's shown up every single game, even with the loss. Like, he's come out game 1, game 2, and game 3 and shown that he can be a contender quarterback in this league. It was a close game. And Tyrann Mathieu, our star safety, did miss the tackle on Saquon Barkley's 61-yard touchdown. And I'm here to tell you right now, if he wouldn't have missed that tackle, it would have been a totally different ball game. But like I said again, the Saints, they're on the run. They're still the top team. They're a top team in their conference right now, and I think they're going to do some good.
So playoffs good or?
Oh, yeah, playoffs good.
Playoffs
Pass
good.
the wild card.
Okay, you agree with that, Derek?
I think they make the playoffs. I want to say one thing. I forgot. Somebody find Bryce Huff. Somebody find Bryce Huff. $51 million for Jalen Hurts has more tackles than Bryce Huff. Somebody find where Bryce Huff is living because he's not playing well. And it makes me so upset. It makes me so upset. $51 million, Dre?
Living
for 0 tackles?
Where he's living?
0 tackles?
I feel your pain. I feel your pain. All right, we've got to move on to the 49ers. 49ers on the other side, they're not doing as good. 1-2 on the season. Injuries after injuries. Deebo Samuel. Brock Purdy was even on the injury report this week. What are you seeing from the 49ers? I'll pass it to you this time, Kiera. What are you seeing from the 49ers, and are they still destined to make a playoff run this season?
Yeah, like you said, just the injury bug. They've gone down with Deebo Samuels and George Kittle, and they just have to – it's the next man up mentality, especially for this team, especially with your 2 star players going out on offense. It's about their defense. We all know that the 49ers this year, their defense hasn't been that well. They've lacked in defense. Their ranking in defense is very low. They're in the lower percentages with that. So I just feel like it's a next man up mentality. So anyone on the defense that can come in and step it up and bring them any type of production will be good for this ball team. And then when you get Deebo back, he's been out. He's likely to play, not likely to play in week 4. So with you not having him back, as well as George Kittle, you have to get some production on the defensive end and still continue to maintain that offense, which they've been doing semi-well this season.
Yeah, I want to pose this question, whether or not Brock Purdy is good enough without the talent to still lead the 49ers to the playoffs. Because injury bug, that happens to all the teams in the NFC.
Right.
Is that something that he can overcome, or is that something that he's going to have to deal with?
I think Brock Purdy has proved me wrong on a couple occasions. So I will eat crow. And I think Brock Purdy is better than I gave him credit for. Because he hasn't played bad this season. It hasn't been great, but then again, he hasn't had weapons. If I'm really going to blame somebody, it's going to be Brandon Ayuk. He has 19 catches for about 125 yards in 3 games. It's really bad. There's nothing else to say about that.
The same receiver who was asked for hundreds of millions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, I don't want to bring money into the equation again. I feel like I just got on Bryce Huff. I'm going to let Brandon Ayuk live a little bit. Yeah. So he missed training camp, so I'm hoping he comes back and then he produces. Well, I'm a hate watcher. I don't hope he comes back and produces. But their defense, Fred Warner is a Hall of Famer. Fred Warner is the best middle linebacker I think I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes playing.
I don't agree with that, but
I think he is.
He's great, though.
In pass coverage and run stopping, I don't think it's close, honestly. But I think the 49ers are destined to make a playoff run. I do.
to your point, Brock Purdy he's not playing that bad.
He's not.
Has 4 touchdowns on the season, 1 interception, almost 900 yards already. Kiera, I'm going to switch it to you. How have you evaluated Brock Purdy's performance so far? Is it up to standard? Are you satisfied with his performances so far?
Yeah, just to piggy off what Derrick and you said, he's been playing great. Like you said, he does not have the offensive weapons. Debo's out, George Kittle's out. So I feel like once they come back and he has weapons to pass it to, that'll up their offensive play and they'll be able to make a playoff run and get back in that top standing, which they deserve to be.
Got you. Well, we got one more team to get to, the Minnesota Vikings. This team has surprised me personally. Sam Darnold, new quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, kind of on fire right now. Then Justin Jefferson is Justin Jefferson as he usually is. They got Aaron Jones from the Packers. I'm going to pass to you this time, Derrick. In the NFC, are the Vikings contenders or pretenders?
I'm gonna come out and say I think they're contenders. I think this team is really good. Their defense is gonna be a top 5 defense. You can already see it. They're playing cover 2 out of all-out blitz front. Like those are things that are unheard of in this league. So I think that's very good. And I'm very impressed with Sam Darnold. He's got to be top 3 in MVP voting. I know it's early, but just looking off of it, and they're playing without T.J. Hockenson and Jordan Addison. When those players come back, the offense is going to be very explosive. But I will say this, they play the Packers, Jets, Lions, and Rams in their next 4 games. So I think we'll really know for sure if they're serious contenders or if they're just, they got off to a hot start. People need to see film on Darnold, things like that.
So you don't believe they showed you that when they beat the 49ers and the Texans?
Well, the 49ers, a lot of players hurt. Juwan Jennings was their number 2, basically. I mean, you could call him their number 1 because Ayuk didn't play well. They don't have McCaffrey. But once again, their defense is really good. Really good.
Well, that's a wrap on this edition of Culture Central Sports. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out our AFC discussion, also on YouTube, hosted by Monroe. Thank you for watching again, and stay tuned for more sports content from Culture Central.